Hello guys, welcome back to my channel Storify. I hope you all going well, and now in this time I would like to tell you about the story. The last story I told you is The Last Dawn, which the previous part was the third part, which was the Ox Heart. And now I'm going to tell you all about the chapter 4, Cracks in the Machine. I can't wait to tell you all about this part because this is gonna be the climax of the story. So I hope you guys enjoy the video, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe as well. So let's begin the story. As I said before, because this is the longest story I've ever told you, so I can't remember all the script I made. So I prepare my phone now, and I need to read all the script on my phone. And yep, this is the story I will tell you. Cracks in the Machine. I'm sorry for the for the noise out there, because yeah, I live near to the street as well. The second work cycle came faster than Elias expected. Time inside the ark felt strange, measured not by sunlight but by bells, alarms, and machinery rhythms. He no longer walked to the glow of dawn but to the hum of turbines and the hiss of ventilation ducts. Every day blurred into a routine of work, eat and collapse into sleep. Yet beneath that routine, tension pulsed like a hidden current. Arc 3 was not the paradise he had dreamed of on the wasteland roads. It was cage dressed in electricity, in cages, no matter how strong, always rattled. Jonah became his closest ally. The older man had sharp eyes and sharper words, but a kind of honestly Elias hadn't seen in years. At meals, they sat together, trading scraps of conversation over bowls of tin screw. The stew tasted of salt, something unidentifiable, but it was food. Every mouthful reminded Elias of what he'd been willing to risk for survival. "You'll see soon enough," Jonah muttered one evening. "The ark keeps us alive, but it also keeps us afraid." Elias frowned, spoon halfway to his mouth. "Afraid of who runs it?" His eyes flicked toward the iron gray-haired woman, the commander. She stood at the far end of the hall, speaking quietly with her officers. Even in silence, she radiated control. Elias could feel the room bend around her, as if survival itself depended on her approval. Maybe it did. Jonah leaned closer. She decides who stays and who goes, who eats and who starves, who leaves Elias. Elias swallowed hard, his appetite fading. The commander's sharp eyes swept across the hall, and for a terrifying second, he thought they landed on him. He lowered his gaze quickly. Jonah whispered, called into his ear, "Never forget, you're here because he allows it, not because you belong." They turned into weeks. Elias worked in the reactor chambers, fixing leaks, adjusting valves, and memorizing schematics. He found satisfaction in the labor, but unease gone at him. The reactor was aging. Cracks appeared in the coolant pipes faster than they could be repaired. Warning lights flashed more often than anyone admitted. He asked one technician about it, but the man only shook his head. "Don't question, just patch. That's how we survive." Elias wanted to scream that survival wasn't the same as safety. One night, unable to sleep, he wandered the lower corridors. His footsteps echoed in the hollow metal passage. He passed sealed door marked with numbers of hazard symbols. Curiosity tugged at him stronger than caution. He pressed his ear to one door. A faint humming from within, not the steady thrum of machinery but something irregular. almost like a voice. His skin prickled. He backed away quickly, heart hammering. He wasn't supposed to be here. You shouldn't linger, a voice whispered behind him. Elias Spoon startled. A young woman stood in the shadow, her uniform from the gate for the same gray as his. Her eyes were sharp, her hair cropped short, her posture tense. She glanced at the door he had just touched. Some doors aren't meant to be opened. Elias frowned. What's behind it? The woman hesitated and shook her head. Not what you hope, not what they tell us. She stepped closer, lowering her voice. My name's Mara. Elias introduced himself cautiously. You're new, she said, her gaze steady. New eyes noticed cracks the rest of us ignore. He nodded slowly. The reactor, it's falling, isn't it? Mara's lips pressed into a thin line. You can see it too. Then why doesn't anyone speak up? Elias asked, voice rising. Mara's eyes darted around nervously. She shushed him sharply. Then why? Because people who speak up disappear. Elias felt a chill that had nothing to do with the cold steel walls. He remembered Jonah's warning, the commander's piercing gaze. Disappear? He echoed. Mara nodded grimly. The arc runs on silence as much as on power. Break it and you're gone. Elias' throat tightened. For the first time, he realized Arc 3 might be as dangerous as the wasteland above. Mara touched his arm gently, urgency in her grip. If you want to survive here, Elias, you will have to choose carefully who you trust. Her eyes softened just slightly. And maybe one day, who you betray. She slid back into shadows before he could reply. Elias stood frozen, heart pounding, her words echoing in his skull. Betrayal. In the wasteland, betrayal was death, but in the ark, betrayal might be survival. He hated how much sense that made. The next work cycle dragged heavier than ever. Every hiss of steam, every flicker of light, every crack of metal felt like a warning. The ark was sick, and no one dared admit it. He glanced at Mara across the chamber, but she avoided his eyes. She had given him a seed of truth, and now he couldn't stop it from growing. Jonah noticed his distraction. Careful, Jonah muttered. Talks too loud get you killed. Elias forced a nod, hiding a storm on his head. That night he dreamed of fire again, explosion ripping across the sky. His daughter teeny hand slipping from his as the crowd screamed. The dream ended with the same image, a hatch closing, shooting him out. He woke with sweat soaking his clothes, the dormitory filled with the steady breathing of strangers, but he couldn't go back to sleep. Mara's warning was louder than the dream. The ark was cracking and the sound was killing them as surely as the radiation above. He sat on his bunk, whispering to himself, I won't be silent. The next day during reactor inspection he saw it. A hairline fracture in one of the coolant pipes. His stomach dropped. He reported it to the supervisor. The man barely glanced at it, and the man said, patch it, move on. It's deeper than the patch, Elias argued. If it spreads, it could. The supervisor's eyes went cold. I said patch it. Elias clenched his jaw. The silence Mara had warned him about was real. They weren't fixing the ark. They were bleeding it slowly, pretending the wound wasn't fatal. He obeyed, patching the crack, but his hand trembled with rage. The ark's survival was hanging by threads. Threads could snap any day. He wondered how many other cracks had been covered instead of repaired, how many truths were hidden behind sealed doors, and how long before the whole ark turned into another wasteland tomb. That evening, Mara found him in the corridor. Her eyes searched his face. "You saw it, didn't you?" Elias nodded. His voice was low. "They're not fixing anything, they're just pretending." Mara's jaw tightened. "That's how it's been for years. Then why are we still alive?" Elias asked bitterly. She met his eyes with a grim of expression. "Because the commander has a plan," Mara said. "And like everything in this arc, it becomes with a cost. It comes with the payment, with money, with anything you can pay." Elias felt the hairs on his neck rise. What kind of plan? Mara's lips curved into something between a smile and a grimace. "The kind that doesn't save everyone." Elias' stomach turned. He has chased survival across that world, only to find it poisoned underground. Haven 7 was a lie. An Ox Tree truth might be worse than the wasteland itself. Wow. Yeah, I'm wondering the next part, how it's gonna be. I can't wait for the chapter 5, the commander's choice. Yeah, so guys, that's the fourth part of the story, the last down. So the next part, the next chapter is gonna be the commander's choice. I don't know about the climax of the story, but it's gonna be a very, very long story and very interesting to know how it's gonna be, because I just realized that the arc is not that good, it's not that safe. It's even worse than the upward, the upside world, the wasteland. But who knows? Let me see to the next part of the video. So guys, if you like the video, please click like button and comment and subscribe and share to your friends, so your friends can hear and know what story I tell you all. Yeah, I'm so happy to tell this story for you all. So yeah, see you on the next video. Goodbye.